Daft little buggers. They're great fun though. Good catch, Ken. Not bad for a big dog. So this, this will be a Fred in the Shed 2 video. So thank you for the 200 or so loyal Fred in the Shed viewers that will watch this. Cheers, guys. You know who you are. You know the loyal ones that just tune in to hear me waffle on. And so yeah, this I'm filming this in early March here in the UK, and it's all about really just trying to get the garden back under control after the winter. It's not been a bad winter, to be honest. It's taken its toll on a few things. Need to get a new cover for this. Still got that satellite dish has to come down, but as you can see, the antenna is a little bit crooked after those couple of storms, but the antenna's still up. But this one is not about radio. This is just me at the moment filming a mad dog. It's running around in circles. Crazy. So the garden, it's just coming into sort of spring. Things are starting to come alive, and I started a little idea of a project down the bottom here, and we had the fence done a few years, well, I don't know, about 3 years ago now or something, and we just haven't really done anything sort of down the bottom of this garden. It's not a big garden, so we bought these tubs last year, and I was going to make a video on it, and then I just couldn't be asked, to be honest, with the lockdown, and I lost enthusiasm for a lot of things like the rest of you, I guess. So we bought these, and I kind of screwed them together and thought about making some kind of a feature or something here in the centre of the garden, so when we sit out in the evenings we can look at it. Water feature here, and yeah, this video will probably be about that, I should think. A bit boring, I know, but anyway, that's the intro done. Thanks for watching that. Hope you're still awake, and let's get on with this little feature. So this is an idea I've come up with, true Fred in the Shed style, just chuck it all together. It's the water feature that we got. It's just made out of resin, and I've never had one before, not an outside one. I'll look at this in a bit more detail when I set it up, but basically it's got a pump, and it's got little blue LED lights, and the water obviously stays in the bottom there, but yeah, I've got some idea going on here. Not quite sure exactly how it's going to work, but this will be sort of the idea. Climb something up those trellises at the back. I'm not sure what colour to go with, or if we go for the cream colour or we go all grey. Might go all grey. And then something along the front, some pebbles or something around, and then I've got the sort of weed inhibitor membrane to go down, which is going to stop the grass hopefully growing. But yeah, that's the first attempt, and I don't think that's completely disastrous. Not for me anyway. If you watch the channel you know what I'm like. But it's a bit cold out here, but yeah, that's sort of the idea. So stick with the video and we'll see how it ends up. Hey, sun's come out today. Just a little bit more work done on the water feature thing. Built a pallet, if you like, really, out of 2 decking boards and got some old fence posts that we had. And yeah, just going to put those, well, I have put those in the front, in the back. We've got some of this sort of black membrane stuff to put down, which will hopefully stop the grass growing through. That's the idea. And then with the water feature there, we will fill it with probably some pebbles or something around the outside. We'll obviously have some plants in the pots, something to grow up the back. Well, I think the next job now is probably just to sort of give it some weather stain to protect it. But yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's just using up old posts. It doesn't look a lot at the moment because it's not painted, but I'm sure it'll look fine when it's painted, and maybe that's what I need to get on with. That's everything, with a coat of Cuprinol, butter, cream stain, whatever it is, and that looks a little bit better. Looks like it's getting the idea. And there's my palette. What's quite funny is that most people deconstruct pallets and make things out of them, really remarkable things on YouTube, and yeah, I actually make a pallet. But anyway, got to stand the water feature on something. But yeah, so I think that's about it for now. We need to get back to the garden centre. Bought a decking pallet board now, which we're gonna break that up and just do a little bit of finishing off of my own pallet. And then we've got a couple of climbing things. I'm useless on flowers. Jasmine. There we go. Just from Home Base there, just a couple of jasmine. which will eventually climb up that little trellis, and then we've got to work out what we're going to get into these other pots and then get the water feature working. And the best news is tomorrow is going to be, they reckon, probably the hottest day of the year so far. They're talking possible 24 degrees, and it's my day off, which is unusual. It normally rains when I'm off. Oh, it's flipping hot today. They weren't joking when they said this is going to be the hottest day of the year so far, and it's only March. Yeah, well, anyway, got a bit more done, and just done the sort of finishing edges, if you like, around my palette, and got the pebbles in. So just sort of put them in willy-nilly. I'm sure the good lady might want to fiddle around with the placement, but they're pebbles after all. But yeah, so that's not looking too bad. And I think next job we'll get the trellises fixed up, and then we can sort of think about setting up the water feature and doing the pump connection. And yeah, things like that, but it's cracking on. So it's certainly a nice day for it. It's a little bit too hot, certainly in overalls and gloves. Here's the small little pump for the water feature. Just a small little 12 volt 7 watt pump. It's quite small, but you'd be surprised they're quite powerful. And then what we've got here is another little feed that comes out, and these go to the 2 LED lights that are in the bowls that obviously light up the water. So what I need to do here is, obviously I need to cut this because I need to be able to disconnect the pump when I cut the grass around the back of the feature. There you go, got this little Knightsbridge 16 amp connector. It's 3 pin, but obviously I'll only be using the 2. And yeah, that just sort of fits together like that. It's completely waterproof, CE marked and everything else. So I'm hoping that's going to work, and I just need to yeah, put that together, and Bob's your uncle, and we can then set up the water feature. That's the connector on. Quite impressed with that Knightsbridge connector. It was only about £4 from Amazon, but I quite like the way the gland tightens up there around the cable. Pretty impressive. So I've only estimated the amount of wire that I need to get the pump into the water feature. I hope I've got it right, otherwise I've cocked it up. Typical Fred in his shed. I should have measured it really, but I think I've allowed enough. Well, we're going to find out in a minute anyway. This works, of course, is the water cascades down between the 2 bowls, and on the final one now, you can see there's a little hole, and then it drops inside. So this will fill up with water. There's the plugs for the LED lights, and somewhere there'll be a tube for the pump. That's like a little that must have been one of the bowl inserts heeling around. Yeah, oh there you go. So that's the pump, the feed there, rubber pipe. So the pump sits in the bottom, the water comes up. Right, been thinking about it. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I'm going to have the LED connectors on the outside. I don't fancy those getting wet. And yeah, so it just says filled it up till the pump is submerged. Doesn't say how much water. Now there's something important about what water you put in this and what additive you use, so let me show you that. Now one thing you've got to consider about just using ordinary tap water is that once it's left out in the elements and certainly exposed to ultraviolet sunlight, you're going to get algae build up inside the water, and if it's not circulating, which you're not going to have this on all the time, it will become slimy as well. So you need some of this fountain clear stuff, which isn't really explained in the instructions, and it wasn't really explained at the garden centre. But this is just a water sterilisation fluid that you just dilute down and you put it in. It's not harmful to birds or dogs or cats, anything like that, but it is harmful to aquatic life. So it's no good if you've got one of these features that have fish swimming about in the bottom of it. It will certainly kill the fish off, and things like frogs, unfortunately. If we don't get any frogs in our garden, but if we did, they would bite the dust. Okay, it's going to be the moment of truth, whether it's going to work. It's filling up. There you go, for the first time. The LEDs come on, they're actually white, they're not blue. That's okay. Sounds quite tranquil. If I stop talking anyway. So there we go, how about that? It still needs a little bit of finishing off, a few more plants, and I may put a brace across those trellises when those things grow up. But what do you think? What do you reckon, Ken? No drinking from it, Kenny? Or weeing on it? So what do you reckon? Fred in the Shed home little project. I'll update this. I might just do a little bit before I switch off when it's dark to come out and look at it in the night time. But overall, what do you reckon? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? It's not bad, is it, for a bloke in a shed? Have a go, Fred, that's me. Just have a go. Anyone can have a go. There we go. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that looks quite effective for a few bits of old wood. Yeah. So here we are, just getting dark. Just thought I'd come out and have a look, see how it looks with the lights on, and that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think, anyway. It's quite effective. I think I need a few more lights scattered around. But yeah, overall, quite impressed with that. So that's about it. I think we'll bring this one to a close. Thanks for watching if you've stayed to the end. It's not what I normally do, is it? Makes a change from radio. But I hope it was interesting. Thumbs up, would appreciate that. But normal service will be resumed on Fred in the Shed. But as for now, cheers. Thanks ever so much for watching. And yeah, catch you on the next one. Stay safe.